Hello and welcome to episode 6 of building a Lego city. So if you didn't see the last episode, we made quite a bit of progress to the city. As you can see, we placed these beautiful looking facades into the background of the city, and I think they are creating a lot more depth into the backdrop. And not only that, but if we come over here, we also detailed all of these alleyways, such as these here, as well as over here next to the window, just down there. And we also did down here by the construction site. I just paved that all off there. So that sums up pretty much what we did in the last episode. So there's really not much I want to do in this episode, but there are a few things that do need doing just to finish off the city. So the first thing I want to do is these cloud elements here. I'm going to use those as actual clouds for my city. So we'll go place those into the backdrop. And as you can see, I've placed one cloud here just for now to give an idea. And I think those really will work quite well for creating a bit more atmosphere into the background of the city. And then once we've done that, all we need to do is place in all of the vehicles and all of the figures into the city. And I have those just down here ready to go in. And that may sound very simple, placing all of that into the city, but I want to actually make some scenes in the city, such as a bank robbery, a fire, just figures interacting in different ways to create little scenes in the city that draw your attention in. So unfortunately, this probably is going to be the last episode of building a Lego city. Unfortunately, it couldn't go on forever as the city does need to be done at some point. So you may be wondering what's going on here. Why have I removed some of this? Well, I actually need to remove this whole section here to be able to stand on the table to place those clouds in. I had to do the same thing to place the facades. So it is quite a hassle doing that, but unfortunately that's the only way. So I'm going to finish off removing those and then place in the clouds you see just here. So I've just started placing the clouds in, and I haven't done all of it just yet, but I just wanted to do a little bit just to see how it would look, and I'm really liking the way this is turning out. So as you can see, they're just these cloud elements. I'm not sure on the actual real name of these pieces, but they look like little clouds. And when we stand back here, that really is giving a lot of atmosphere to the background of the city. So I've now got all of those cloud elements now placed in, and I'm really liking the way this is looking. I think that adds a lot more atmosphere to the whole city and really adds a lot more detail into the backdrop. So luckily there was just about enough clouds to do the whole lot. We had 105 in total, and we used all of those up, and I think they're quite well spaced. So now that that's all done, I think the next job is to place in the cars and the figures. And as you can see, I've taken out all of the buildings in that centerpiece there, as well as on this side, because that will give me much more easier access to get to the back of the city. So over here on this table, we have all of these figures here. These are all from various different sets, and some of them are even from the Build a Minifigure station in some Lego stores. So unfortunately, it's not as simple as just picking up a figure and placing it into the city. Although that would look good, it could look better by arranging these figures, so that's exactly what I'm going to do now. I'm going to find all of the police officers, for example, put them all together, and anything that belongs together, I'll sort it all out, and then we can work out what to do when it goes into the city. So one thing I want to do for the city is this mail truck here. It has no graphics along the side, so I want to place a Royal Mail sticker along here as well as on the other side. So I've just printed some off to size on some photo paper, and then we'll stick those on like that, and that should look really nice when they're on. So I placed some double-sided tape onto the back of those, and now they are stuck onto the van, and I really do think that looks quite nice. So it obviously isn't as good as a Lego sticker, because I'm not working with the materials that Lego use to produce their stickers, but I still think this looks quite nice on here and definitely adds a lot more detail to this van. So I think this will look great parked outside of the post office in the city. So a few hours later, the city is now complete. So unfortunately, I couldn't bring you along with me with placing all these figures and cars, as it wasn't as easy as you might expect. So it was a lot easier for me to do off camera, just placing this all in, working out where everything should go. So there's now all sorts of different scenes around the whole city, all sorts of interesting things going on. So let's now have a look at how this city has transformed. So over by the boutique hotel, we have a few hotel staff welcoming in visitors for their stay. And up here on the roof terrace, we have a chef or bartender just serving drinks to this woman here. And then just opposite the street is of course the Palace Cinema, where perhaps these two here are quite famous for maybe their roles in some movies. So they have made an appearance at the Palace Cinema, and we have a few people here taking photos of them, as well as a VIP arriving in this limo here. We also have some workers ready to sell tickets, as well as this person dressed as a spaceman, perhaps to maybe promote the next film. And then next door to that is of course the Grand Emporium, where we have a few people who have just been into the shops. Next to that we have this ice cream van here, where that is serving ice cream to all the customers who have just come outside of the Grand Emporium. And then over here by the Birch Books, we have a woman who's just bought a book and is excited to read that. And then next to that we have the police station, where this police officer is on his break having a coffee and a donut from, of course, the donut shop right next to the police station. Then for the Parisian restaurant, we have a proposal happening outside, where this man here is proposing to this woman, and we also have a few customers at some of the tables in the Parisian restaurant ordering some food. And then for the toy square, we have this entertainer man here with his guitar, as well as a few people just walking around enjoying the day. And then for assembly square, we have this man here blowing balloon animals, and we have some people at the cafe just drinking some coffee. And then of course for the town hall, we have the wedding here, where there's quite a few photographers taking pictures. So I think those two figures look great there, having just got married at the town hall. And then we have the hospital, where there's quite a few patients who have just been released out of hospital. And then we have the ambulance parked out front. And then we have the pet shop, where quite a few people have just been in and bought their new pet. And then just here we have the Royal Mail van. There's a few postmen here just collecting some mail to put into the truck to make its deliveries. And then over here we have the diner, where this man's taken his classic car to get some food. And these people here at the diner will actually bring the food out to the car. And then over here, just next to the park, we have the city pizza van, where this man has just ordered his pizza. And then over here at the music shop, unfortunately, it's caught on fire. So the fire brigade are working very hard to put the fire out. And the owner of the shop there is really not happy about the fire going on to his store. And then my favourite scene of the whole city is of course the bank robbery right here. So this is a classic Lego scene with cops and robbers. You always get these police city Lego sets where the robbers are always trying to outrun the police, but they never win, they always catch them in the end, such as this man here has just been arrested for attempting to rob the bank. And then his friends in the back have just realised that their plan hasn't quite worked how they thought. So they have spilled all of their loot on the ground that they just stole from the bank, and all of the police figures here are ready to arrest those crooks and put them into the prisoner van just here. And then further over this way, we have this police officer here just ready to direct traffic away from the scene, as well as a reporter here interviewing the bank owner about what's happening right now at the bank. And then over here we have the news TV van, where they are reporting the news live of what's happening at the bank. And then further over we have some civilians who are quite interested in what's going on, so they're just leaning over the barrier, just having a look at all the commotion. And then just behind that we have the bank transport van, who's just about to do his round of picking up the money from the bank, but it seems like the robbers got there first. And then for the park in the centre of my city, we have these people here who are on their skateboards, just enjoying the skate ramps, as well as a play park over here, where there are some kids playing in the park. We have this man here walking his dog, as well as some people over here just ordering some coffee from the coffee cart. And further down, you might just be able to see there's a few figures just walking around, just doing what you would normally do in a park. So that pretty much sums up all of the scenes in the city. I think these really do add a lot of detail to the city. And having these scenes, such as this bank robbery here, which I just absolutely love, really draw your attention in and create some atmosphere for the city. So there might have been a few things I've missed, but those were the key details of the whole city. We've got the bank robbery, we've got the fire happening over here, we've got the wedding, the proposal over there at the Parisian restaurant, we've got the hotel people here welcoming in visitors, and we have the Palace Cinema here, perhaps with a VIP event with some celebrities showing at the cinema. So that pretty much sums up the whole build of the city. The city is now 100% complete. Now, of course, the city may change in the future. There may be a few things we add or remove. A few things I want to do in the sort of near future is right outside Greengrocer here, I want to place in the new van. It sort of looks like a Greengrocer van. I'm not sure on the actual name of it. It's just been released not too long ago, but I think that would look good just parked outside there. And then, of course, in January next year, which is quite a few months away, we'll remove the construction site and we'll place in the new modular. Now, that doesn't mean we're not going to have any construction happening in the city. I'll have to make something different for that, because I would like there to be some sort of construction going on in my city. But of course, we do need room for the new modular when that releases, so that is where that one will go. But there we are then, that is it. That is my city now complete. So unfortunately, this is the end of the series. I've absolutely enjoyed every moment of building this city. It had its ups and downs. Some things were quite a hassle to deal with, such as the facades. They did fall down quite a few times, but they are now stuck on. Hopefully they'll stay on for good. Choosing where every modular went was not so easy, as I tried to make every modular look good at where they are in the city. So that was actually quite time consuming, as well as placing all of the figures and the cards. That was also quite time consuming. And then of course we used absolutely loads of pieces for making these roads, as well as 14 packs of road plates. But I've absolutely loved building this city, and I couldn't be any happier with the final outcome. So I'm sure I'll make videos on the city in the future, so it's not the complete end of building this city. But it is, however, the end of this series. So I hope you've all enjoyed watching this series. I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all later.